Let's head over to London now, where Ian Lee is standing by. You're following a few stories for us this morning, including violent clashes in India that were sparked by a very controversial new citizenship law. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, good morning, Amory. You're right. We're starting today with those deadly riots in India's capital. At least 21 people have been killed in New Delhi in the worst violence in decades. The city has been rocked by 3 days of clashes between Hindus and Muslims. And the spark to all of this is a controversial citizenship law, which grants amnesty to illegal non-Muslim immigrants from some Muslim-majority countries. And that led to mass demonstrations with people saying it discriminates against Muslim immigrants. But things turned violent when a politician from the ruling party warned authorities they had 3 days to stop the protesters or his supporters would. Thousands of policemen and troops have been deployed, along with calls from the government for calm. Next, we have the unfolding crisis in Syria's Idlib province. Regime airstrikes killed at least 20 civilians, including 9 children, according to a Syrian human rights monitor. The group says schools and hospitals were among the targets. There has been some fierce fighting between the Syrian army, backed by Russia, and rebels, along with jihadists, backed by Turkey. Roughly 3 million people live in the area. Cold winter conditions are creating the worst humanitarian disaster since the start of the conflict back in 2011. Idlib is the last stronghold of the rebels, and the Syrian army says they want to liberate it. But rights groups fear that could lead to another mass exodus of refugees. Finally, we end in Hong Kong. The city is facing a real financial crisis. First, there were months of anti-government protests. Pro-democracy demonstrators clashed with police last year, which shook the economy. GDP fell, and their stock market lost billions. Tourists also stayed clear of the violence. And the protests subsided, only to be replaced by a coronavirus outbreak. The deadly disease has killed 2 people and infected dozens in the city. To stop the spread of the virus, Hong Kong closed its borders to China, triggering another hit to the economy. So the government came up with a plan to boost spending by handing out $1,200 to all permanent residents over the age of 18. Amory, Hong Kong is desperate. It looks like they may have taken a page out of former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang's playbook by handing out this dividend. But the real test is if they can ride out the coronavirus, keep the streets quiet, and woo back tourists and investors.
Yeah, an important test to pass. Ian, thank you very much.